Okay? Alright, so let me see if anybody has any more questions before we move on. Epoxy is ready. Cups are warm. So I'm going to turn you guys down. Hopefully we don't have a mess. I normally have you guys set up before. But anyways, okay. So final layer. We're going to do the swirl with the heat gun on this one. And then over here, we're going to do the technique when we're moving this one off the turner. Then this one, I'm doing a mermaid peekaboo on here. So we're just going to glitter that one. So I hope you guys stay to watch me apply the glitter on this one. Okay, and I'm going to try to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, but for now, let's start over here. Sorry about all the movement, guys. So I got, oh, thank you. I got my heat lamps from Home Depot. And I also have some little desk heaters that I keep around also because I'm in the basement. So let me show you really quick. Those are my heating lamps. So I have 3 of them. And they sit directly over my turners. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to turn them off so you'll see the lighting change. Alright, can you guys see? So they're at Home Depot in the outdoor camping section. And they also have the bulbs there as well that you can get. Okay, so I'm going to do this one real fast because it's just a last layer. And I don't know if you guys are doing this, but when you put your decal on your cup, you need to wash it with Dawn soap, but don't touch it. You put gloves on, you go, you wash your cup, you bring it back down, you put it on the turner, and you don't touch it with your raw hands anymore. Okay, so that's a tip to avoid fish eyes and any kind of those little bumpy things that people get on their cups. Okay, all right, here we go. So I'm just putting it on. It's not going to be thick. It's going to be a very thin layer because this is final epoxy. So I normally hold the cup at the bottom to catch any excess epoxy that falls off. And I just work it on there with my finger. I go to the top. I'm pretty sure, I know you guys know this, so I'll shut up. Alright, so once I make sure that everywhere is covered to my liking, I go ahead and make sure I get the bottom. Wipe any excess off into the cup. Then I want to make sure I have my rim nice and clean. Since this is final layer, I don't want to have to do a lot of cleanup or any sanding. So this cup, I actually did the glitter, the epoxy method. And then I did 2 layers of epoxy before I put the decal on. And before I sand. So 2 layers of epoxy, then I sand, and then I put the decal on. So that's done. This one I'm going to go ahead and put on. another thin layer. And my epoxy has already started to activate because it's warm in my hand. So just working it on the cup. These cups, I prepped them. So I sanded them. Wiped them down with acetone. And then I washed them with Dawn soap. And then I spray painted them. Do the bottom. And then I'll show you guys how I go over it with the heat gun. So I'm just gonna let it turn. Then I'm gonna turn you guys here. And we're gonna start working on this one. If I can get my camera right. I'll make sure you guys see once we're putting the inks on. I'm just epoxying like normal. Now you do have about, well, you're supposed to have at least 45 minutes to work with your epoxy, but because of the temperature that I keep my room, I don't have as much work time, so I tend to have to move quickly. My laptop went off, so I can't see your questions, so give me a second. I will have this uploaded to my YouTube once we get done on here too. So just want to make sure you get the bottom of the cup, your rims, and everywhere. Okay. So now I'm going to go over here. Now when I do the epoxy method, when glittering, I let the cup spin a little bit before I start because I don't want a lot of movement when I start putting the glitter on. And then this cup, I'm going to show you the spray paint that I use on it. It was Rust-Oleum, and it's Seaside, and then just regular purple. And I just sprayed it in some random spots. I am going to use a teal and purple glitter, though. So we're just working it in. Make sure we get the bottom. And my epoxy has already started feeling thick. Okay, so we've got all of that done. So I do have some epoxy left, so I'm just gonna drop it in a mold. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glitter and drop it in a mold. Hold on, let me grab my glitter. So I don't worry about how much epoxy I have mixed up because I have tons of molds and I just toss them in there. So I just added some glitter and I'm mixing it up. And I'm gonna grab my mold. These are the molds that look like tumblers. I got this from, I can't remember where I got this one from. It's probably Amazon. Alright. So now, see, I'm going to change gloves. Move that out the way. I'm going to refresh to see if you guys have any questions. And then I'm going to turn you back over here to show you how I do the heat gun. So this is my heat gun. My torch. Turn it on. And I go really fast over it like that. Because I don't want to burn my epoxy. And when I'm doing this, I mainly try to focus on where the decal is, because I don't want to have those little bubbles over the name. No, I don't. I didn't add thicker coats. I just did my regular one. Yeah, I can show you what I use to hold the tumbler to the turner. I just normally mix up that same amount of epoxy all the time. Now I'm popping the bubbles on this, but it's not going to matter. It's just habit. But I am going to turn my light on to make sure that I don't have any bubbles over the name. Because I would hate for the customer to get it. Just waiting on it to come back around. Alright. Now let's do the fun stuff. So since we're going to use the heat on that one to move it, let's work on this one. And I'm going to turn the light back off. Let's glitter this guy. So I'm going to use Sea Nymph, Violet Rain, and for the teal, I'm going to use, well, it's not teal, it's blue. I'm going to use Beautiful Disaster. Any question I miss, I will go back and answer. So I told you guys I saved my coupon papers, so that's what I'm going to use to catch my glitter. That guy out the way. Alright, so I'm just going to pick some random spots and put the glitter on. And I'm not chasing the tumbler, I'm waiting on it to come back around. Can you guys see? I hope so. Okay. So I'm going to take the excess and put it back in the container. Okay, Then I'm gonna go in with Violet Rain. Again, no particular, it's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever you prefer. Now that is a pretty color. Can you guys see that? Now, if I was doing this, if I wasn't glittering this on the turner, I would be using parchment paper to catch the glitter. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to go in with the blue and fill in all my empty spots. The bottom of the cup, I'm not really worried about. Whatever goes down there is what it will get. So that's it for this cup. I got it everywhere. I have full coverage. I'm not too worried about the bottom. And that's it. So that will spin all night and it will be dry in the morning, and then I will epoxy it twice. Probably I'll do a flood coat, and then if it's not as smooth as I like, I will do another one, and then I will start to do the peekaboo. So if you want to see the process of that one, comment and let me know, and I will keep you guys in the loop as it goes on. Okay. So that's it for the glitter. So now I'm going to turn my lamps back on, and I'm going to get my heat gun, and I'm going to warm these guys up. Where's my heat gun? Here it is. Alright, so you guys said to switch it up. So everybody voted for the peach. So we're going to keep the peach. And we are going to drop it on there. Random spots. So I'm going to go in with another peach. Oops, it's pretty much the same color. Then now it looks a hot mess, but once we start getting the swirls moving, it's gonna be fine. So I'm just trying to cover up all the white spots. Alright, so let's add some heat and get it swirling. Now you can use the heat gun to push it up, push it down. Like I said, you really have more control over where your inks go when you use the heat. So the closer I hold it, it fans it out. Don't forget about your bottom. And you can see I'm just using the heat gun to push it to the rim to make sure that we get those colors over there. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see, so I'm going to bring you over here and kind of show you what we're looking like. So I'm going to let this just turn like that, and we'll just see the end results, okay? So now let's move on to this fun guy right here. And I know you guys can hardly see, but pretty much I'm just gonna drop the inks on there, and then I'm gonna take it off the turner, and then you guys will see how I tilt to get those movements. So let's do it. Get my ink open. Here we go. Now remember I told you you should wear gloves, right? Now see the difference on this one that I was telling you, that it just drops, it runs a lot faster than the other brand does. Hopefully you guys see what I'm talking about. Trying to see if I missed anything. And I just drop it at the end to make sure I get it everywhere. I think I'm gonna do silver in this one. Whoop! Did you see that? Trying to cover all the white spots. Where'd that purple go? Okay, so now we warm it up. So we want to warm it up to the point where it's running. And once we get them moving, then we'll take them off. Now when you're doing this, you want to be very careful that the bottom of the cup doesn't slam. So you hold it down. And you'll see the ink start to move down. Then once it gets to where it's going to drip off, you tilt it up so it comes back down. So it's moving, but it's moving pretty slow. So I'm going to heat it up some more. And I'm just holding it upside down and heating it up. Then I'm just going to flip it. Then I'm going to move it back the other way. So that's just pretty much how you get the movements on this one. Okay, now I'm going to put it back on the turner. shaking, you guys. Turn it on. And I think I want to add some white to break up my silver. But that's pretty much the fun that you have with inks. You just keep playing with it until you get your desired look. And then that's it. So I don't want to keep you guys much longer, but I'm going to keep blowing this until I get the effect that I want. And then I'll show you guys the results. So if I miss any questions, I will go back through and answer them. But until next time, you guys stay